So, sighing deeply, chiding himself for being such a fool, he retraced his steps, looking on this side and on that. It was growing darker all the time, and the night was full of whispers and unearthly sounds. Dark though it was when he reached the arbour, God directed his eye to the place where the parchment lay. It must have slipped from him while he was asleep, and with great joy he picked it up. But then he cried, "Oh dear, I have trod the same road 3 times, which I should have trod but once. How far might I have been by now upon my way?" He truly feared that he would be benighted. There were those lions too. They seek their prey by night. "If they should meet me in the dark," he said, "how should I escape being torn into pieces?" And again he asked himself, "What shall I do?" There was still light enough to read his parchment, and this is what he read. "Desire now a better country, that is, the heavenly one." And with these words to strengthen him, Christian resumed his climb. And lifting up his eyes, he saw against the sky the towers of a stately palace, the palace beautiful. Here, perhaps, he thought, they'll give me a lodging for the night. But before he could approach, he heard close by in the darkness the roaring of the lions. The only way forward was along a narrow passage, which was about a furlong from the porter's lodge. This, he knew, was the place from which Mistrust and Timorous had fled. And Christian was never so near to running back after them. But the porter at the lodge, whose name was Watchful, perceiving now that Christian made a halt, cried out, "Fear not the lions, they're on long chains." "If you keep strictly to the beam of light in the centre of the path, they cannot reach you." So Christian moved on. He took good heed to the directions of the porter. At the same time, he trembled for fear of the lions, for now they were on either side of him, straining at their chains. And how they roared and snapped at him, and how they tried to catch him by the foot. But Christian soldiered boldly on, and in another minute he was through and had reached the gate unharmed. Then, somewhat breathlessly, he asked the porter, "Sir, may I lodge here for the night?" "That depends on the nature of your business," he said, looking at him suspiciously. "For how does it happen that you come so late? The sun is set." When Christian had explained as best he could, the porter said, "Well, that's a sorry tale, to be sure. But I will summon one of the young ladies that lives here. If she likes your talk, she may let you in. Or, contrariwise, she may not." So, Watchful, the porter, rang the bell. And there appeared, at the sound of it, a grave and beautiful damsel, called discretion. She questioned him closely, asking him what he had seen and met with in the way, and he told her, and she smiled, though tears stood in her eyes. Then, to his relief, she said, "We have to be careful here whom we admit. But this house was built by the Lord of the Hill for the benefit of pilgrims. So, with the Lord's blessing, come in." And Christian they laid in a large upper chamber, whose window opened towards the sun rising. And the name of the chamber was Peace. So, for a little while, Christian was safe, and much he needed to renew his strength, for on the morrow, though he knew it not, he had to fight with Apollyon. Next time, indeed, we shall tell of the fearful fight with Apollyon, when the foul fiend comes out, determined to stop Christian from continuing his journey. And we shall discover who is the winner of the contest.